Jim Dempsey, AURA NOIR, tier list. Let's do it.
Say my name.
Jam.
We just become best friends. Yep.
I love the poorly educated.
We got a second before we can really kick this off, so go ahead and sit down. Make yourself comfortable. Crack your, oh, there we go. All right. Put her there, pal. Hi, diddly hey. Neighborino. It is Jim Dempsey. But you know who else it is? It is Phil Vandervoort. And it is you. So let's get to it. Special guest today. You know who we're bringing on? The tier list. What can I say? I love a new toy. I got to do something with this thing because I can't find a way to stick my dick in it. So I'm going to start off my throwing bands on the tier list with AURA NOIR for the simple reason of well, I like that band and they have a very tasteful discography. But I feel like we can kind of bang this out really quick-like, and I can take a moment as we unpack it to describe like how I'm applying the tiers, right? Can I side note really quick? I can't get a blue tier up in here for the nice full effect. I'm just saying it would be lovely. Can I side note on that one really quick? You know what I dislike the most about the whole the gay flag thing is just as an artistic device. It is an utter epic fail. Because to start with, when it started out, it was like these bold strident colors, and I understand the logic behind that because the idea is like, oh yeah, bold and strident, right? But as a palette device for rainbows, I always felt it was fairly poorly chosen. And now they just muck it up with all these disparate colors, and then like, you know, whatever add-ons they are throwing on. So it's just this like weird, disgusting, confrontational thing, which, yeah, make of that what you will. But, yeah. What do I say? Yo, art is a really good way to read society. And that's what I'm doing here, is I'd be like, yeah, I'm looking at the bass lines, I'm looking at what's going on underneath, reading the tea leaves, and you can kind of suss out a general picture of at least the immediate future. You might not get every angle of it, but you absolutely can read the road signs as we plunge down the highway of off the fucking cliff into ruin. And how do you do it? Well, hang around and we'll discuss that. But first, let's talk about AURA NOIR. So we're going to start with the Black Thrash Attack. I suppose I'm going to do the popular thing and be like, oh yeah, look, here's the physical CD. Because that is, you know, that's what we're doing in here, right? So, the Black Thrash Attack. I call this a B tier album. By which I mean, this is an album I can get some out of. There's songs on it that I enjoy. But if I'm listening to the album, I'm probably skipping through for a few select songs, and I don't generally return to the album that commonly. So, B tier, right? Deep Tracks of Hell, by contrast, I call that an A tier album. That one, I would say of it, this is an album I really enjoy, and though there are some standout tracks to me, I pretty much will just listen to at least most of the album if I'm popping it in, because there's just such a lovely backwards groove to the whole thing. It is sometimes a challenge not to just go right up to the Spiral Scar one, but yeah, the whole thing does have a nice off-kilter-ass flow that's a really good representation of what makes this band so charming. So yeah, A tier. That's where I'm like, I do dig this album. Like, I dig this album. Deep Tracks of Hell. Right? Now, This worked out really well, actually. I like this. So this was a good band to pick on this. We didn't plan this, but The Merciless. That's a fucking S tier album to my mind. S tier album meaning you should absolutely already own this album. And if you have not even heard it yet, then do us both a favor, and after this, make sure to put that up in your search bar immediately after this, cause yeah, and you only need a few minutes to get a real feel for it. But I predict A, you'll get the feel for it, and B, you should absolutely just listen to the whole thing, because the best songs are disproportionately freighted to the back of the album. And it's a quick, tidy listen, and the thing about it is, it's very skeletal and spacious and open. There's just this vibe to that album, like the way that it's mixed or the way it's recorded or something. It has a characteristic, a sort of je ne sais quoi, that I equally apply to The Fine Art of Murder, where I describe it as, you hear things in this album, like, it so perfectly says what it needs to say that your brain kind of fills in extra things. And when you listen back, you're like, this doesn't actually happen in the song. It just would be so perfect. But, so it's like listening to the blueprint of the songs. Whereas another band would just shit all over it and make too many choices over that. So, that's what makes it, to my mind, just so special and distinct. An absolute S-tier album is The Merciless. Then I'd have to switch to my books here, because I do have them split up across some of these. But what are we up to anyways? We're at Hades Rise or Out to Die? Let me check the... I got a live check, actually, this one. We're gonna bring it up. Yeah, Hades Rise was the next one, wasn't it? I liked the vibe on this one a lot. I would have to probably slot it back down to B tier, but I'd like to slot it higher than Black Thrash Attack in that tier. As much as I'm not a fan of splitting a tier, I do feel like with the limited amount of gradations that we have in our little rainbow here, our stunted ass, no blue even rainbow, it's a little unavoidable. So yeah, if I was splitting the tier out, I would call Hades Rise a higher B tier than Black Thrash Attack. Like a 7 to a 6, if you will, perhaps. And then that brings us to Out to Die, and I like Out to Die in a different sort of way. There's like even just a new and refreshing vibe on that album. But if I'm to be honest with myself and with you, it's similarly on higher tier. Like, it slots alongside Hades Rise. It's closer to climbing into A tier, but it does not quite make it. Because you know what? I gotta be judgmental with my tier. I've only got so much to work with. I don't even have a blue bar there. Scandalous. But yeah, I was describing my distaste for the whole gay flag color palette, because I kind of like the color scheme here a little bit, and it reminds me of old Christmas lights. Also didn't have blue for whatever reason, and to this day, or no, I take that back. They did have blue. What they didn't have was purple, which also our tier lists. Do we have a purple on here? I don't remember one. So yeah, it's like Christmas light, but they don't even get blue in there. How disgraceful is that? That's all I'm saying. And then yeah, I'm just double checking myself. But yeah, we are up to our last entry, right? How about that? Do you like how tidy this is? I got to bring back the page here. Yeah, we're all the way up to this most recent self-titled album, and I was very ambivalent with it. This was one where I was like, you guys got to do this to me too, because by 2018 I was already, in this mind space that I'm presently in, where I'd be like, Yo, a lot of bands are still releasing albums that just really don't need to. So it kind of wounded me a little bit. And I'm dropping this one down to C tier. I gotta say it, I was disappointed. I'm open to the idea that I will grow with it in time. But let's face it, it's been close to 10 years and I haven't taken the opportunity to do a lot of it since. So yeah, like, it hurts me to do it, but I'm dropping that one to C tier. And yeah, it means that just, it isn't that there's nothing on it I could enjoy, but I don't remember enjoying enough, like it didn't stick with me, right? And then, I don't have a D tier on here, but I do just want to take a moment to describe what I will be doing with D tier, by way of a quick anecdote. So, this happened to a guy I know, but I know the feeling so well that it's almost like it happened to me. Wherein this guy, we'll call him Marco, playing the role of Jim Dempsey, walked into a room where my chum, Big D, and another chum were blasting some hate breed, and Marco says, "I'm digging this. What is this? This is killer." And they informed him, "Oh, well, this is hate breed." And he said, "Fucking garbage, yuck," and stormed out in disgust. And when the anecdote was relayed to me, I was like, not gonna lie, I can feel that energy. D tier, I'm gonna use for stuff where I'd be like, for personal reasons, and I won't hold a band's fan base against them. For me, I'll be like, I'll find some other petty shit to hold against you, and I'll be like, for personal reasons, I wouldn't want to like music from this band. They just seem like, you know. And so I'm just not down, right? And a good parallel to that would be like the kids that are not down with sketch black metal bands. Me personally, I feel like that's a really good litmus. And mind you, I do want to clarify, like, I don't like Nazis, but I would absolutely say if Nazi music or music by Nazis bothers you, then you are definitely the sort of person that should not be listening to black metal. Because, I mean, who do you think's making all the black metal? Like, at least any of it that's worth listening to. So, and by that I don't mean NSBM, I just mean like, you know, the good black metal is made by a bunch of sketch-ass criminal motherfuckers with, you know, like, beliefs that we may or may not find to be valid and agreeable, right? So, if I was a proper Seattle liberal, I would be like, yo, I'm slapping Burzum on the D tier, because I may like the music, but I can't enjoy the music because of personal conflict. However, I only got half the education of a good Seattle liberal, so I'd be like, I could put Hatebreed down there, but that's just Boston bro energy bullshit, right? Like, so yeah, it's a cultural conflict kind of thing. It's an East versus West sort of thing in that regard. I'd be like, Norwegian, Nazi? I got Norwegians in my family. What else do I have in my family? Well, actually just gay people, but, So anyways, yeah, we're done here. AURA NOIR ranking list, and thank you for staying with us. As ever, I hope you feel like you were edified as well as entertained. But if not, then we'll keep coming back. Cause am I not getting better at this shit? Like, it's gonna step up, and you are here for the demo days. What a lucky bastard you are. All right, we'll catch you next time. Dempsey out.